Hi, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the Sabbath. This is a really good one. You know, we got Christians running all around, and we're having this debate about the Sabbath and what it really means. And you know, can I work on Sunday? Can I not? Am I being disobedient if I have a job that requires me to work on Sunday? Can I mow the lawn on Sunday? And you know, just the Sabbath. After all, it's the holy day. Keep it holy and. Let's be obedient to the law and so forth. And we go on and on and on. So I want to talk to you about what the Sabbath really is. See, this is something we miss. The Sabbath is a picture of you were once working really hard to get right with God. It's a picture of you doing everything you can to keep the law, to get right with God, and eventually you come to know Jesus Christ. And what do we do when we get to know Jesus Christ? We enter his rest. We now find our righteousness apart from works of the law. We find it apart from law and through faith in Christ alone. And that's the whole picture of what the Sabbath was. So check this out. The Sabbath no longer, if you're a believer in Christ, this isn't a Sunday thing. The Sabbath was a picture of something you would enter permanently. It is a permanent rest that's Monday through Friday, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You've now entered that rest of Christ. And to help you understand, I want to take you to Hebrews chapter 4, right? This is after the cross. Now, I want you to understand, who are Hebrews? Hebrews are Jewish people. So to understand this letter to the Hebrews, if the Hebrews were not running, if the Jewish people were not running to Jesus Christ for righteousness, well, who were they running to? Well, they were running to the law, right? So the entire letter of Hebrews is addressing Jewish people that they've heard this good news. They've tasted it, if you will, but they haven't really sank their teeth into it, and they keep running back to the temple. They're trying to get their sins cleansed from washings and the animal blood and so forth. And the writer all through this letter is telling them Jesus is greater. Grab onto the new, better covenant. And then we get this picture of the Sabbath. So this comes from Hebrews chapter 4, verses 8 through 11. I'll read them to you. It says, "For if Joshua had given them rest, he would not have spoken of another day after that." Verse 9, "So there remains a Sabbath rest for the people of God." Now remember, this Sabbath rest is for us. It's for the people of God. It's for you, and it's for me. Verse 10 then says, "For the one who has entered his rest," who's his rest? His, Jesus, okay? "For the one who has entered Christ's rest has himself also rested from his works." Now hold on, because this is the good part. "As God did from his." So what happened? We know that God worked for 6 days. He put everything together. By the way, where were you during all of this? God puts the entire world together for you. You do nothing. And then on the final day, the last day, day 6, actually, God comes along and creates man. Here's you and I, Adam and Eve, if you will. And then on the 7th day, God rested. And this Hebrews writer is telling us, so in the same way that God rested on the Sabbath, I'm telling you, this is what I want you to do from your works. By the way, this writer is not saying, I want you to work for 6 days and then I want you to rest on the 7th day. That's legalism, big time. The writer is going, hey, those 6 days, that's a picture of the law. You were working for righteousness. And I'm encouraging you to enter the rest of Christ through faith. And after he says that as God rested from his works, he says, therefore let us be, now here's what we're supposed to work to do. Let us be diligent to enter the rest. Whoa, that's crazy, isn't it? Work to enter rest. Well, there's a new concept for you. That's the kind of work. And in 1 John, we know this. In the book of John, Jesus tells the Pharisee, he says, this is the work that you should do to please God. Believe in the Son. Wow, who knew? Right? So again, it says, therefore, let us be diligent to enter that rest so that no one will fall through following the same example of disobedience. Now, I want you to notice, if you've ever read the book of Hebrews, the first 10 chapters, you won't see a single verse of disobedience being about the law, lying, cheating, stealing, adultery. The only kind of disobedience referred to through this whole book is about the sin of unbelief. So folks, now you know what the Sabbath is. Your Sabbath is every single day, Monday through Sunday. Enter the rest of Christ and stop trying to get your righteousness through works of the law. You'll fail every time. God bless you. Thanks for joining.